The Denver Nuggets, what a win. In the situation that they had to get a win, they had to make sure they took care of business tonight. They do it. This was a special game, man. This game could have gone a lot of different ways, and it was because of a few players in particular that it didn't. The Nuggets tonight, they were playing versus the Kings team, shorthanded Domantas Sabonis tonight, and that made a difference for them. Malik, they also did not have Malik in this game as well, so this was an opportunity for them to drop. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. The Kings, they showed up. They played a terrific defensive game plan. We're going to talk about that. That has been a common theme, a very common theme for teams playing against Denver as of late, and how they're going to approach a lot of these games. And I think the Denver Nuggets, they showed some things tonight, but overall, they're going to have to work on some things over the course of the rest of the season. But Zeke Nnaji, y'all. Russell Westbrook gets a shout. Christian Brown gets a shout. Murray, obviously. Jokic, obviously. But Zeke Nnaji, man, we're going to talk about him tonight. It's time to give him some more flowers, but also beyond that, Zeke Nnaji is a part of this team and rotation going forward. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. The Denver Nuggets get a win versus the Sacramento Kings 116-110 in a game that turned out to be a defensive chess match. That's the best way to describe what exactly happened in this game. The Denver Nuggets, they were coming into a situation after losing to the Boston Celtics. They needed another bounce back win. They needed to continue to get the momentum going. They needed to show up and take care of business right here and now. And it did not start off well. The Nuggets were down 42-29 after the first quarter. They lost to Jokic minutes by, I believe it's 42-39. They lost to Jokic minutes by 13 points, I believe. They just weren't playing any defense. They were disconnected. They weren't doing the thing they were supposed to do. They were not making the reads. They weren't moving around. I mean, you name it, man. Just everything that could have gone wrong in that first quarter was going wrong. And then eventually the Sacramento Kings, they started making their shots. And in the first quarter, the Sacramento Kings, they shot 63% from the field on 15 of 24 of their attempts. The Nuggets only shot 12 of 26. And one of the biggest things to note, y'all, the Kings had a 14-point game at one point in time, and a 14-point lead 1 point in time in this game. We are yet at another game where the entirety of the defensive game plan from the other team is we are going to find a way to collapse on the Joker and make life as hard as possible. And then that way, everything that's going on for the Denver Nuggets and for the team, they're going to have to work around that. They're going to have to work the problem out around Joker because we're not going to give him any easy looks. And that caused a lot of issues for this team today. And it was ugly. And I noted in the first quarter that I don't know, again, if they're going to show a lot of the stuff they will do come playoff time, but they're going to need to respond today. I mean, really, honestly, the biggest thing is that the Nuggets, they're having to deal with teams that are having this mindset. Let me read this to you. Jake LaRavia off the bench for the Kings had 11 points in the first quarter, by the way, off the bench. Jake LaRavia, he said, I thought we were being physical in a way I haven't guarded this team, meaning the Nuggets, before. And that was a direct quote. And that is a direct coaching adjustment on behalf of Doug Christie, that they are going to body and beat up and double and triple the Nuggets on the interior. That is their entire game plan, and they did that today. And by the way, from Statsman, real Statsman, the Nuggets won despite trailing 14 points to the Kings. This was the 7th game this year the Nuggets have won when trailing at least 14 points. That's the most in the NBA. The Nuggets have a terrible habit of getting down, of allowing themselves to be down, of not bringing the requisite effort, and then everything changed. And they decide that they want to start playing defense. They want to lock in and take care of just the small things, and it gets done. So I'm just telling you, man, like, the Nuggets, they are definitely a work hard, try hard team, but they're going to have to figure out how to make some real adjustments to it. But ultimately, they were able to do it. But like I said, in that first quarter, Jake LaRavia had 11 points, which is kind of having its way. Jamal Murray got out of the game with 2 fouls. The second one was really questionable. Michael Porter Jr. in the first quarter was big, had back-to-back drive possessions where he was just getting to the rim. The Kings were denying Jokic the ball. I wish I could show you, matter of fact, I will, just what the defense of the Kings look like in this game. That way everybody can get an idea of like what the Nuggets are really going to have to work through as they approach the playoffs. And as teams kind of be like, all right, you know what? Like, we know what your best player wants to do. We know what your system is. And we're just quite simply, we're not going to let you do it. But this is what it looked like. This is what Jokic was dealing with to start the game off today. And it looked bad. It did not look good. This is exactly what the Nuggets were dealing with in the first quarter. They start the game off, and Russell Westbrook gets the ball, and Jonas Valanciunas is guarding him, and they just completely ignore him. They just said that this is not going to be a thing. We're going to completely ignore everything that you want to do offensively, and we're just going to try to make sure that Jokic cannot get the ball. And if he does, yes, he's going to be surrounded by all 3 of these players at the very minimum are going to collapse on him. And if not, then these 3 players in a triangle are going to collapse. We're going to double off here, and then good luck. And that was a part of the game plan. Very similar here. This is also how they started the game off. Okay, I just want everybody to realize, so there's one on ball, one person face guarding Joker. And there are 3 other players with 5 of the 6 available feet in the paint. 5 of the 6 available feet are in the paint. This is the kind of coverage that the Nuggets are seeing, as I said, that they're going to have to adjust to. Because this is going to be the story. This is going to be the narrative, what you're seeing right there. And so the question is going to be, are they going to continue to allow teams to play them like that? But I will say this, that one of the adjustments that you do make is that you put Jokic at the nail as opposed to at the free throw, on the post, just because that gives you more space to operate and more space to move. Like, it was just a really good defensive game plan by Doug Christie. And that's something that, again, the Lakers with JJ Redick have done. That is something that the Boston Celtics with Joe Mazzulla has done. Now, Doug Christie, you know, I gave my original credit for who did this to Chris Finch in game 2 of last year when they did not have Rudy Gobert. They basically did this. They said, we're just going to make life as difficult as possible for Joker, and you're not going to beat us, Jamal. And Jamal was hurt over that stretch, so he wasn't able to get into his bag like he was today. But we'll have to talk about this more on Lockdown Nuggets too, you all, because there's a lot of details to get into with kind of how they're playing Jokic in particular. I said on Player's Choice, I said on Lockdown Nuggets that the way that he's being guarded, the only 2 situations I can think about are Shaq in 2000, and Michael Jordan versus the Detroit Pistons in the late 1980s. That's the only 2 things I can think about in terms of they're literally trying to cut off the paint in any way possible to make sure you do not get the ball. And the Nuggets have to adjust. And I think they will, because they have to. There's no choice. They have to. Overall tonight, y'all, Christian Brown, 15 points. He was a +8 tonight, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 7 assists. A good game from Christian. Did have a block and a steal. Terrific defensive possession by him, Russell Westbrook, and Zeke Nnaji to close the game out today. Michael Porter had 13 points. He was 5 of 13, just 1 of 7 from the field. Had a really good stretch in the first half. 1 of 7 from the field, but he was 4 of 6 from 2 today. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Also at 12 rebounds, so 13 points, 12 rebounds, and a block for Porter. A really good power forward-like game for him. Nikola Jokic today, 22 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 turnovers, 9 of 18 from the field, and he was 9 of 16 from 2, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Not a great scoring game for Joker. Rarity, bad scoring game. But again, some of this is just like the way he's being guarded right now. It's going to take a little bit to adjust, I believe. Russell Westbrook, A great scoring game after the first half, especially 25 points for Russ, 10 of 20 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals tonight. Russ got going because he started making layups. In the first half, it got real ugly for Russ. It got really, really ugly for Russ. Some of this is just like because of the shooting deficiencies and because teams they're telling you they're not gonna defend him. They're gonna leave him open and they're gonna make everybody do everything else. And so Russ then had to respond by doing stuff. Let me see if I can find it for you. Russ had to respond by attacking the rim. And that was the thing that got him going, that really changed the tone and tenor of today's game, is that he just finally put his head down and then he just started attacking the rim. And that really changed the game for him, changed the game for the Nuggets, because now it's like, okay, Russ is a threat. He's a threat going downhill. That changes some of the structure, and especially the non-Jokic minutes when they weren't just trying to completely take away Jokic. They were just able to really focus on getting him downhill and to the basket. And so just possessions. Let me see. Hope y'all can see this. Just possessions like this. I mean, switch hands midair. Like, great play for Russell Westbrook. This was the start of it. Again, they were down 14. Russ was a part of the reason that they were able to get back into the game. So really, really good minutes. Really, really, really good minutes for Russell Westbrook today. Just really important stuff that you got a chance to see from him. They wouldn't have been able to get this victory, had he not done that today. Just a great game. And then we also had Jamal Murray, 24 points, 4-10 from the field, 4-14 from the free throw line, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and had a block. Now, Jamal Murray, man, he was getting fouled a lot today. So he wasn't able to get the normal looks he would get, but he was getting fouled a lot. And he got 14 of 15 free throws to go down today. And Murray usually doesn't get fouled like that, but, if the Kings were going to continue to be as physical as they were being, that was bound to happen. Jalen Pickett off the bench was a -9, but he had 5 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He was 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. He had a turnover, but then he got the ball right back. He threw the ball, tried to get an entry pass over Zach LaVine. Zach jumped and got it, but he fought the ball back and got it back, so never counted as a turnover. But Zeke Nnaji, y'all, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 blocks, 1 steal, +9. He needs to play more. Like, the starters all had 38, 35, 38, 36, 38 minutes. Just no. Zeke Nnaji needs to play more. They ran an 8-man rotation today. Zeke Nnaji has to play more. It can't just be like that's what I'm saying. Like, we're at a different place with Zeke now. He has to be a part of what the Nuggets are doing. He has proven he's ready for it. He's proven he's earned it as of late. This team is better with Zeke Nnaji. That's a new reality, but it's a reality. And so Zeke was just making play after play. He gets ISO possession on Zach LaVine, miss. He gets another ISO possession on DeMar DeRozan, forces a miss. All on the perimeter in the fourth quarter, and then this was a huge play. Look at the score. The Nuggets they're only up 1 here. And Zeke Nnaji gets Jonas Valanciunas in the post, forces a miss, gets the ball out of his hands. Just an incredible play. And look at the energy from Zeke Nnaji. Look at the energy. That's a player he has fought his way into the rotation. He fought his way to stay in the league. He fought his way to be a pro. He got his body right. Now he got his mind right. He's emotionally locked into the game. This is what you need, because now Zeke Nnaji, Peyton Watson, Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown over there. Now you got some defenders on the roster. They can go get it. Zeke Nnaji got to play. He got to play the Jeff Green role. He has to play the Jeff Green role for this team. And Malone needs to. I hope he realizes what he has in front of him, and he does it. Peyton Watson's first game back, only 2 points, but again, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, had some good, important defensive possessions. It matters. It matters. The Nuggets only had a 112. They only allowed a 112, a 113.3 offensive rating today, and it could have been much worse. The Nuggets had a 119.6 offensive rating themselves, but again, it could have been much worse had that team not showed up and got done in the second half what they got done. In the second half today, let's see here. In terms of some of the advanced data, in the second half today, Christian Braun, 97 defensive rating while on the court. Michael Porter Jr., 94 defensive rating while on the court. Jokic, a 105 defensive rating, but a 122.2, 25 offensive rating. Russell Westbrook, 93 defensive rating, 122.2 offensive rating. Jamal Murray, 128.9 offensive rating in 22 minutes and 90.9 defensive rating. A plus 38 net rating for Jamal Murray in the second half. Zeke Nnaji, 66.7 defensive rating in the second half. A 121.1 offensive rating for Zeke Nnaji. Why? And I'm going to start using this more because I think what this does, it just gives proper context. It gives proper context to how the team is functioning on both ends while players on the court in different segments of the game. And I think that stuff is really important for just kind of figuring out what exactly players are doing when. I mean, honestly, man, like Zeke Nnaji's proven his stuff. Peyton Watson, 82 defensive rating when he was on the court today. Everybody locked in. The defense was great for the Nuggets in the second half. The Nuggets had a 93.8 defensive rating and a 124.5 offensive rating in the second half. That has been a part of their energy all year. Dark Skull Swipe, I have a question for you. Do you think Julius Strawther will be on our playoff rotation when he comes back from injury? I don't know. If he's hitting shots, yes. But if he's missing shots and not playing defense, no. Plain and simple. Got a super chat from MP13. Shout out my dog. How Jokic is being guarded needs to be studied. Is 2 off the ball and 3 when he gets the ball. I know. I don't remember the last time I've seen someone get this so much defensive attention and get no foul calls. Yeah, I mean, multiple people said it today. There's this. I have never seen an all-time great big not get this much physicality on them and not get the call. But Jokic is the one that's, for whatever reason, he's fitting that mold. He's the one that is going to be the example for that. Apparently for the rest of the time. But overall, they got the win. They got the Suns coming up. And then they have OKC back-to-back. So, big games coming up. And the Nuggets, now you want to hear a statement. You want to see a statement? The Nuggets can make it this week. 100%. But y'all, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know what time it is. Swipe a gang, building this community up. I'll be on Lockdown Nuggets tomorrow with Ryan Blackburn. Hey, see you on the other side.